Good day and welcome back to my channel. Today we're making this cute little bear keychain. Big enough. So for this one I used a bigger yarn. And for the next one I'm going to be using a thinner yarn. Just to show you also the difference in it. So you will require a pair of googly eyes or safety eyes. If you don't have any, some buttons will do, or you can just use a crochet hook or a needle, a darning needle, and sew some eyes on. You will require a main color yarn. For the next one I'm going to use some pink, baby pink. A color for the nose area I'll be using white, and for the actual embroidery detail here I'm going to use some black. You will also require a jump ring that is on a keychain. So this is one that I made. It simply is a jump ring that I've put on some chain and I threaded it through this little keyring. In order to open the jump ring, you do need 2 sets of pliers, or 1. You're going to need a crochet hook of the appropriate size, a pair of scissors, a darning needle. If you don't have one, it's cool. You can always use a smaller crochet hook. So grab your hook, your yarn, and let's make this. So very simply put, it's worked in 2 different pieces, a front and a back, and the ears are also worked separately. You will start by making a magic ring, and we're going to make the back first. Once you have your magic ring, chain 1 and secure. Now into your magic ring make 6 single crochets. Pull to close. This is row 1. You're going to slip stitch into the very first stitch that you initially made. You might need a stitch marker. For row 2, chain 1 and let's put your stitch marker on. You're going to make 2 single crochets in every stitch going right around. When you get to the end of row 2, you'll have a total of 12 stitches. At the end of this row, remove your stitch marker, slip stitch into the very first stitch, chain 1 and put your marker back on. For row 3, 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 2 single crochets in the next stitch. Your repeat for this round is 1 single crochet, and in the next stitch 2 single crochets. When you get to the end of this row, you will have a total of 18 stitches. When you get to the end of row 3, remove your stitch marker, slip stitch into your very first stitch, chain 1, put your stitch marker back on. This is row 4. 1 single crochet in the very first stitch. In the next stitch, 2 single crochets. In the third stitch, 1 single crochet. Your repeat for this round is 1 single crochet in the next stitch. In the following stitch, 2 single crochets, and the next stitch, 1 single crochet. You will continue to work in this manner until you get to the end of your row, where you will have a total of 24 stitches. When you get to the end of row 5, remove your stitch marker, slip stitch into the very first stitch, chain 1. This is row 5. Put back your stitch marker, and you're going to make 2 single crochets in the same stitch, 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Your repeat for this round is 2 single crochets in 1 stitch and 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. When you get to the end of this row, you will have a total of 30 stitches. When you get to the end of this row, remove your stitch marker, slip stitch into your very first stitch, and chain 1. Put back your stitch marker. This is row 6. 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So in the first one, make 1 single crochet, 2 and 3. Then you're going to make 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and in the following stitch 1 single crochet. Your repeat for this round is 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. In the following stitch, 2 single crochets. The stitch after that, 1 single crochet. When you get to the end of this row, you will have a total of 36 stitches. When you get to the end of row 6, remove your stitch marker and slip stitch into the very first stitch. This is the back part of your face. Cut. So you're going to keep this one side. Now you're going to repeat all the instructions I gave until you get to row 6. But do not cut your yarn, because we're going to do row 7 and 8 for the face. So this is the front that I've made now. Row 1 to row 6. For row 7, chain 1, 1 single crochet in each of the 36 stitches. And it's the exact same thing for row 8. 1 single crochet in each of the 36 single crochets. And I'll meet you at the end of row 8. When you get to the end of row 8, slip stitch into the very first stitch. Now you want to leave a long enough piece of yarn that we will use to stitch these 2 pieces together when we are completely done. So you can see the front of the face is taking on more of a bowl effect. Right, so I'm going to leave that alone for a bit. For the ears, make a magic ring, chain 1 to secure, and you're going to make 5 single crochets into your magic ring. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 1 and turn your work for row 2. Row 2 is 2 single crochets in each single crochet across. When you turn, tighten, but not too much as yet. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in your last stitch, 9, 10. For row 3, chain 1 and turn your work. 1 single crochet in each stitch across. 1, 2, 3. When you get to the end of your row, leave a long enough tail so that you can sew this on. So it needs to look like, your ears need to look like a fan. So make 2 ears, please. For the nose, you're going to use some white, and you're going to make a magic circle, chain 1 and secure. Into your magic circle, you're going to make 6 single crochets. Pull your magic ring to close. Slip stitch into the very first stitch that you made. Chain 1, 2 single crochets in each stitch around, which will give you a total of 12 when you're done. When you get to the end of your row, cut your yarn and pull it out. Please use a needle to join your, well, to make the slip stitch. Basically, you're making an invisible stitch. And hide your tail away. If you're not going to hide your tail away, you can use the same tail and stitch the tail, using the tail, stitch the nose to your face. For a nose detail, go into the center, and then go to the side. You're basically making a V. Do not pull your yarn too tight. Now I'm just going to fill up the places that have a bit of white in it, which is right here. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Turn to the back. Now you'll see I'm not making any sort of knot at the back because I'm going to stick this on to my face. That's your nose. So now you've made all your pieces, which I'll show you. Here they are, yeah. So you're going to start by threading your tail of the front of your face onto a darning needle. I'm just grabbing the needle here. Then make sure to put all these end bits inside. You can see I haven't worked away anything. You don't have to. What you want is the wrong sides facing. And the only thing you're going to do is pick up from the back side, you're going to pick up the front loop. From the one you're holding in the front, you're going to pick up the back loop. And you're just going to pull it through. And you're going to do that for the entire face. But you're going to leave a gap so that we can fold this. Don't pull your stitches too tight. That has been my biggest mistake. When you get about 3/4 way in, my 2 fingers can still fit in, please fold this. You can use off-cut fabric or filling, the choice is yours. Once you have folded a bit, or to your liking, continue to stitch around. When you get to the end of your row, go into a stitch or a few stitches where you don't see it, please. I'm going to move a bit to the back, and I'm going to make a knot, and then I'm going to take it and I'm going to go down a few rows, just going through the backs of this work, come out about there, and then I'm going to cut this yarn flush that it falls back into this little ball. Now we're going to attach the ears. Now on your ear you have two tails. The one where you finished your single crochets and the one from the bottom. So I've threaded the tail from the bottom onto a needle, and I'm just going to go through a few stitches at the bottom here and go through a row, pull out and hide that tail. And you will do this for both of them, that you only have one tail. Now to attach your ears, you need to attach your ears where you want them. But first I'm just going to go through the last stitch a bit. I want my ear, so on the front part where the joining is here, I'm going to put one ear about there. Just about something about there. This is your choice where you want to put your ears, whether you want them closer or further apart. That is your choice. Just stitch them on. When you're at the end, again, I'm just going to make a little knot there. And I'm going to go through the back of this, and you want to hide your tail. Somewhere in this body, and that's what I'm doing. So here I have my first ear on. Now I'm going to, so these ears I'm going to put closer together compared to this one where you can see they are quite far apart. But let's see how it looks slightly closer. So put your second ear on. Now I'm just going to attach my jump ring to the center of between both ears. Just like that. So your nose isn't going to go somewhere about there, which I am going to quickly paste on. This is your teddy bear keychain once you've put on your eyes and your nose. So this I used baby yarn for. The other one I made, I had normal double yarn for it. This is to 4-ply. So you can clearly see the difference in them. Let me just bend these ears a bit. But this is it. Depending on what size keychain you want, or how big you want your project to be, try different types of yarn with different sizes of crochet hooks. Well, this is the Queen Phoenix. I'm out of here. Happy crocheting. Have a fabulous day. I'm definitely going to. Cheers.